Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Connor Benn is actually back this Saturday in Orlando, Florida. Let me tell you something. I heard the rumors that he was going to be back, but I find it odd that they weren't really, promoting it the way that I expected them to. Hold on, let me turn on this light. Okay, now. But I just find it odd that they weren't really, talking about the fight and promoting the fight. But my understanding, right, is that he does not have his British Boxing Border Control license. And he's still in the middle of the appeal and everything else. Now, just to catch you up to speed, real briefly, he tested positive for clomiphene. A and B samples were both positive. WBC came out, had their own experts. They concluded that he got his hand on some contaminated eggs, right? Long story short, not many people believe him, but there are some. But the bottom line is he's returned this weekend, and he's not returning against a Kell Brook, a Manny Pacquiao. He's not returning against an Amir Khan. He's not returning against a Keith Thurman. He's not returning against an Adrian Broner. He's not returning against a big name. He's returning against a fighter that he's supposed to destroy, because he's kind of been the destroyer. But first I want to say this, right? I'm glad he's able to get his career back on the road. He's been out the ring over a year and a half. But for people who are giving him a little bit of pressure about fighting in Orlando and fighting basically a tomato can, to that I say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Connor Benn has been out the ring a year and a half. He needs to not only get in there and knock the ring rust off, he needs to get in there and get used to the diet again, the weighing again, the walk. He's got to get used to, the fight week again. He's got to get used to the crowd, the anxiety he's going to experience, and just those apprehensions he may have with walking towards that ring, still in the back of his mind, knowing that there's some people who feel that he's a cheat. And when he does that ring walk there in Florida, you just never know the type of hecklers they have in the crowd who may, say not so nice things to him. And this is where you want him to work through that and get beyond that now with a tomato can. So what I expect is Connor Benn, after this, he'll probably have another tomato can type fight. Expect him to have 2 or 3, kind of like AJ. Eddie Hearn's onto something here with taking his flagship fighters and putting them in there with, low threat opponents. I don't fault him for that. It's actually smart, because Eddie Hearn couldn't afford for AJ to keep taking losses. So Eddie Hearn did what he had to do there. But when it comes to Connor Benn, he's been out the ring for a while. He needs to get his confidence back. We need to see him in there destroying people. But the biggest thing for Connor Benn is just his mental health and being able to deal with, like I said, the fan base who feels that, he was on, the cocktail, all right? So it is what it is. But my understanding is Connor Benn's been destroying sparring partners in camp, putting people down left and right. When Connor Benn talks about some things, I tend to believe him. Other things, I just take it with a grain of salt. But I do believe he's putting people down in training camp. But this is going to be very good for him to see just how he looks. I mean, a lot of people are going to be watching, to see, can he get in there and tranquilize this opponent? the way he did with Samuel Vargas, the way he did with Chris Algieri, the way he beat down Granados. Is he really that beast that we accepted him to be? Or is he a drug cheat and who had unfair leverage against his opponents and went in there and destroyed people's careers? You know, that's really the question here. So that being said, I'm looking forward to see how he looks. It's going to be on DAZN, so if you don't have a DAZN subscription, get one. If not, you know, there's always other ways to watch the fight. Everybody has their own way to watch it. Whether you're paying for it or not, there's always ways to watch the damn fight. But there are a lot of people excited to see him back, man. You know, but Joe Joyce has a fight this weekend as well. And the sad thing is some people feel that Connor Benn and Eddie Hearn are trying to take the steam off of Joe Joyce and Zhilei Zhang. I don't know why they would say that, but it is what it is, man. But that being said, let's see if his power is the same. See if the hype is real. And let's just see how it goes, man, you know. But I don't understand why there was no build-up. Like, that's the only thing I'm really concerned about. There's no build-up. How is it that there's absolutely nothing discussed? And I think that's the case because I think it was a last-minute decision for the fight to go forward. I truly believe that. It was a last-minute decision. And I think that's where we're at with Connor Benn. Let's see if they get through this first fight, see how the second, and if they can get to a second fight. But for him to fight in the States, that tells me that maybe some things haven't really worked out the way that Eddie Hearn hoped for back out there in the UK. And again, I take everything with a little grain of salt. But a lot of people feel that Eddie Hearn is just being very disrespectful to the sport of boxing. They feel that Eddie Hearn had no right putting him in there to fight in the States until he really cleared up his name, got beyond this whole clomiphene situation. But other than that, they consider him a dirty fighter because they feel that he has not been proved otherwise. So it is what it is. But anyway, y'all keep cool. This guy he's fighting, the Roscoe, whatever his name is, man, I don't know nothing about him. But that's what they want. They want to put him in there with a low-threat opponent just so he can get comfortable in the ring again. But we'll see how it goes. He's back. The 23rd, man, is what it is. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.